welcome to this edition of the Biker Angle. But before we begin... The Mongols are coming, the Mongols are coming, the Mongols are coming on this edition of the Biker Angle.
Stockyards attract tourists from around the world who love the western feel and the daily cattle calls. But now, word that hundreds of Mongols motorcycle gang members could arrive as early as tonight, and police will be here too, in force. City Council member Carlos Flores represents this area.
We're taking nothing for granted. We are going to have a very visible presence at the stockyards. There'll be a lot of police officers, a lot of uniforms to be seen.
Police say they've reached out to leaders of a rival club active in North Texas to make sure there's no clash.
Just to make sure that they were aware. They stated they already were aware. They also stated they don't expect any issues with these visitors coming into town.
But the possibility of trouble clearly worries city leaders, especially after what happened in Waco in 2015 when rival gangs started shooting at each other outside a restaurant. 9 bikers were killed, 18 others injured. Still, tourists we talked to on Exchange Avenue say they're not worried. Donna Kimbrell is from Arkansas.
No, I'm not worried about them. If they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone.
Karen Choate is here from New Mexico.
People who come down here are probably good, solid Texans. They're not really threatened by that ilk of folk, I think.
A few store owners are posting notices on their doors saying anyone wearing motorcycle gang attire is not welcome. City leaders say the message to the bikers is clear.
I think they've been given plenty of notice beforehand that we know, they know.
Oh yeah, the Mongols are coming, man. Texas PD and Fort Worth got everybody freaking up in arms about them coming down there. So, as you can tell, the flyers that I posted in one of the videos, it actually looks like it turned out to be the truth. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Mongols, and also we're going to talk about Jesse Ventura's response to Colin Kappernick. You know, personally, I think he's the black version of Bob Ross. You know, white dude who painted all them little watercolor pictures and shit on PBS. Let's be honest. Old boy looks like he played football during the 1970s. Maybe it's time for him to get a new hairdo. Besides, have you ever freaking compared him and Al Bundy together? You know, Al Bundy, my boy, but damn, man, they both sucked at football and are now selling shoes. But anyway, let's talk about the Mongols. Let's go into an article that came out today on this stuff going down in Texas. It was from a local newspaper. Police say they'll beef up their presence in historic Fort Worth stockyards this weekend after an ATF warning that the Mongols motorcycle gang, they call it, is likely planning a rally there that could draw hundreds of members of the notoriously violent gang. The Mongols have been called the most violent and dangerous outlaw motorcycle gang in the nation by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosive Agents, according to the Department of Justice website. Now, I gotta stop right there. It wasn't the Mongols in Waco that killed how many kids at that compound? You know, I think that was an ATF operation, if I'm not mistaken. You burned how many kids in that freaking thing? And you're calling the Mongols the most dangerous? Come on, give me a break. An ATF intelligence note has been circulated in Fort Worth. There it is, everybody. That's what's been going around. So the ATF is already out there getting people freaking up in arms. And as you've seen in that video, some businesses are now putting no color signs up on their establishments, which I personally think it's stupid because bikers bring how much money to a local economy, and they're just cutting themselves out of the fucking piece of the pie right there, man. Why? Because you got these propagandists over at the ATF telling everybody, well, they're dangerous and, you know, things could happen. And as you notice, the ATF even put in the freaking video about Waco and tried to compare that, you know, put some fears up in everybody. But anyway, warning that authorities are highly confident that the Mongols are planning a run in the stockyards this weekend. The notice, copies of which were sent to the Star Telegram, states the gang members are expected to start arriving late Thursday and that there could be anywhere from 300 to 700 bikers. Officer Brad Perez, a Fort Worth police spokesman, said in an email that the department's intelligence unit is aware and we are providing extra patrol special detail. Councilman Carlos Flores, whose district includes the stockyards, that's that meathead freaking baloney pony that you seen on the video, said Wednesday that the police department has made him and other business owners aware of the planned Mongols rally, and he's, quote, "The police department is being very proactive and will have a visible presence in the stockyards to ensure that the public safety is maintained," Flores says. They also have communicated that some of the representatives of the Mongols Motorcycle Club they've been in contact with. The gang is known to be involved in transportation and distribution of drugs, including cocaine and meth. You know, stop there, man. The Blue Gang doing this shit too, man. You know, just this morning I seen all kinds of articles about a couple cops out east that just got taken down for cocaine and distribution and all that shit. So, don't call the pot the kettle black there, guys. Come on. And has frequently committed violent crimes, Blue Gang too, including assault, intimidation, and murder to defend their territory and uphold their reputation, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Yeah, the U.S. Department of Justice, really. They're out there freaking calling other people doing shit. Oh my God. At least the Mongols or any other motorcycle club, OMG, whatever the hell you want to call it, one percenters, aren't trying to overthrow a duly elected president, you cock blocks. But let's keep on going on. I ain't going to get political. But I just find it funny that you don't DOJ trying to call somebody out, them cocksuckers. A majority of Mongols' membership consists of Hispanic males who live in the Los Angeles area. And many are former street gang members with a long history of using violence to settle grievances. Well, there's a lot of cops that used to be ex-gang members too, man. So, you know, I really don't see the point here. I really don't. The Justice Department states in a summary about the gang on its website, the gang is not one particularly associated with Texas. It was not even named in the Texas Department of Public Safety's 2017 Texas Gang Threat Assessment, which provides an overview of gang activity in the state. But the gang has apparently begun migrating into Texas over the past few months, forming almost a dozen chapters across the state with members that include a handful of former disgruntled members of the Banditos motorcycle gang. Quote, although only operating in Texas for a short period of time, violence has already transpired between the two adversaries in Houston, Fort Worth, and Dallas, the ATF note states. Perez, that's funny, man, because I haven't seen anything on it. But anyway, Perez said Fort Worth police are not expecting any issues between the two groups at this weekend's rally. Well, let's hope not, now that you freaking, you're trying to light a fire where it don't need to be lit. But hey, that's cops. That's what they do. They try to set shit up, just like they did in Waco. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to see it. I posted it a couple days ago. Quote, several representatives of the Fort Worth Police Department have spoken to the local Mongols chapter president, and he assured us that local Banditos chapters have been made aware of this gathering and that they do not expect any issues. Perez said in an email, the concern with this particular gathering is the number anticipated to participate. No, what you guys should be freaking concerned about is not having enough freaking beer on tap, not having enough stuff for your local businesses, to sell, because, again, when bikers come in to the scene, into a community, having these national runs, they spend shit tons of money. And it does nothing but help the local businesses. So instead of being jag-offs and telling everybody this could happen, or this, and that, be prepared, business people. They're going to spend some money with you. You guys are going to love these bikers, man. You'll love them. Don't listen to nothing the ATF has to say. Again, them idiots, trying to go out there and saying about murder and shit like that, I just refer you back to 1993 in Waco at the Koresh compound. Anyway, earlier this year, the same chapter had 19 members and associates indicted on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, murder, drug trafficking, and other related crimes. That is bullshit. That happened in Tennessee. That was not Texas. So you see how they play with the truth a lot, don't you guys? But I know a lot of people have been asking about the Mongols moving into Texas and shit. I put a video out there already on this. Again, if you're not in the club, what the hell's it your business? So don't worry about it. It's their business. You know, they'll work the shit out. They'll do what they got to do. Again, it's none of your business, mine or anybody else's, of what is happening in Texas. But anyway, let's go on to Colin or what is this fucking guy? I call him Colin Cancer because that's about what the NFL is suffering right now with. But Colin Kappernick, you know, the dude won't stand for the national anthem, but he'll bow down to the corporate almighty dollar empire of Nike. You know, wasn't this dude wearing a Castro shirt or some bullshit at one of his press conferences? The dude is one of the worst freaking quarterbacks known to man. He knew it. And you know what? You gotta give him some credit for this freaking little stunt he pulled with the national anthem because it brought attention to him so he get a second career because he sucked at football, man. He sucked. There's nothing else, you know, nobody's gonna give him a job because of it. Dude, he sucked. He was a gift to the freaking opposing fucking defensive backs, this fucking guy. You know, that's how bad he was. Like I said earlier, him and Al Bundy, they sucked at fucking football, but now they're selling shoes. So, whatever. But let's get into Jesse Ventura, which is somebody I really don't like anyway. He's a cock fucking munch. You know, especially the shit he did with Chris Kyle and all that shit with, if you don't know that, the sniper guy, one of the best freaking vets there are, you know. But here's what this dumb shit has to say. Ventura has worn many hats during the course of his life. He is a trained Navy SEAL, which he wasn't a SEAL. He was with the people before that, the UDT they used to be called, who served in Vietnam after the military. He was Sergeant at Arms for the Mongols Motorcycle Club per Uproxx. And he was one of the biggest personalities in professional wrestling after leaving the biker club life behind. Personally, I think he sucked on WWE. He became an actor, appearing in movies such as Predator and The Running Man, and even won the governorship of Minnesota. As an independent, he's been a commentator, author, hosted television shows, and toured as a guest lecturer. And let's not freaking get, he's one of them fucking tinfoil hat motherfuckers if you've ever seen his show. But when Ventura talks on certain subjects, he has clout. According to this article, anyway. One of those topics he is fully qualified to talk on is his view of the state of the government and his perspectives on patriotism in the wake of the Colin Kaepernick Nike Just Do It ad campaign. Yeah, he's got a lot of clout while he's out there trying to bastardize one of the biggest heroes in the United States, Chris Kyle, right? He's got freaking authority to talk about the vets. As he did in a recent video, as a person that has been an elected official per Annan News and is a wartime veteran, his voice is one of the many that people believe should be heard during the debate on what is patriotism, on whether veterans and soldiers find taking a knee during the national anthem to be disrespectful. Again, that whole taking a knee bullshit was a campaign by Kaepernick because he sucked at football and he needed another job. And I bet him and his fucking agent got together and dreamed this shit up. Anyway, Ventura is no stranger to having his patriotism questioned despite his record of service to his country. When serving as governor of Minnesota, a bipartisan bill was passed that mandated all school children be required to recite the Pledge of Allegiance each school day, which he immediately vetoed. Which, go figure from this cock fucking munch, man. This motherfucker. The reason he did that is because he does not believe in mandating patriotism. He believes patriotism is the product of a government doing what they were elected to do in a manner that serves the people in the best way they can. What a fucking ass monkey this guy is. Ventura stated that it doesn't matter whether anyone likes the position a protester is taken, or Kappernick specifically, but that as Americans, his right to protest needs to be respected and defended, because without the right to peacefully protest, the people have lost one of the greatest things to make their voice heard. Well, you know, he doesn't go on to freaking, you know, say that this is a fucking publicity stunt because the guy fucking sucked. But that's Jesse Ventura. Here's to you, buddy. You're a fucknut. I hate your fucking ass. You're a cocksucker, man. Anyway, yesterday we had freaking a really good conversation about this millennial and shit like that, about his view on, you know, what's going on in the biker scene. And I actually found out who it was. I guess it was a video off of YouTube, an MP3 somebody sent us. And it was Dan the Fireman. And we have invited him on Motorcycle Madhouse and, you know, talk about his generation's viewpoint in the biker scene. And, you know, discuss the generational gaps and shit like that. But, in a prelude, I found a good article here. And it kind of makes you freaking think. And, you know, yeah, Generation X, you raise these fucking kids. You know, hey, I'm part of Generation X, which sucks, man, because we made this whole country pussified. But here's a pretty good article on this, and it is very interesting. And I hope we can have some debate on this. And it's titled, "Why Millennials Can't Take a Joke." And it was on Odyssey Online. Now, let's get going. We are acting exactly the way we were taught. And right off the bat, man, that's kind of making a good point right there. In recent years, millennials have been taught... God damn, man, that's funny shit. Anyway, been thought of as the younger generation of... I'm reading here and, you know, I'm laughing in my head. Generation of softies who get upset over everything, as we cannot take a joke. Some believe this is a real issue, some completely deny it. As for me, I'll be the first to admit the generation is full of whiners and softies. That's what I was, when I stopped, that's what I was reading. But before assuming the best or the worst, it is important to first understand the thought process of millennials, from a millennial herself. So here we go. For those who do not know, millennials are a generation of people born after 1980. This means that many of the people who complain about this younger generation are actually part of it. No one in this world has the same mindset, but in order for the aged generation to understand the way the millennial think, and the way millennials understand how they themselves think, it's important to understand why they think this way. Okay, I'm getting to the good shit here. To me, millennials can't take a joke because we were taught to care too much. Our parents told us that when we were younger, they didn't have to worry about walking the streets alone at night or to take caution for the risk of smoking. However, they taught us to always keep a cell phone with us to check in whenever possible and stay with a buddy in case anything happens. Not that we can blame them. Well, you know what? A good point there, because this world's fucked up. On the other hand, the rise of social media constantly reminds us that there is murder, rape, cruelty, and abuse to be found everywhere. Because a lot of this violence is documented with cell phone cameras. It becomes even more heinous acts are seen by millions across the internet with one click of a button. With everything going on in today's societies, we're scared shitless. You think? You are scared shitless. That's why we're softies. We are sensitive about everything because we can see almost anything. Well, I'll stop there with the article. But, you know, kids, millennials, whatever you want to call it, life's a bitch, man. Life is tough. If you see one of my old videos, I go through the whole life thing, and I bet you freaking millennials were melting over that one. Life is a bitch, man. It's dangerous out there. And when I was growing up and shit like that, yeah, we didn't have a lot of shit that you guys got to go through right now. And if we did, it wasn't known because we didn't have the social media and shit. But that doesn't mean you get scared of life because of everything going around you. It just means freaking be aware, you know. But you got to get some fucking balls, man, you know, especially if you're into the biker scene. So I hope the debate or him coming on, I hope he comes on. We offered him to come on. You know, have a nice logical debate about their feelings and what they think and, you know, and kind of freaking walk them down the right path. You know, it's more important than ever for millennials to actually listen to the older generation because you keep up on this road, man, you're going to be scared all your freaking life. And that's no way of living, man. You know, living's going out there and freaking taking life head on and fucking taking no prisoners. But, again, I can see your point where you were taught that fucking way. And that's truly a shame. But, anyway, appreciate you guys coming and listening to the Biker Angle. Thanks for all the debate yesterday. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can with the links below. And really appreciate all the orders with New Age of Biking and Brotherhood. It's selling really freaking good. And if you buy it on Amazon, don't forget to leave a review. I really appreciate that. We got some other books coming out October 1st. And we also have a good, if you want the ebook version, you can actually go and get that. And I throw in 5 hours of recorded interviews and shit like that for free. But everybody take care, and I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow.